Les from Delta here. Recently, Fischer quiet dropped a new handheld, and I was actually able to get my hands on it. And I thought we could do a little bit of an unboxing testing of it. All right, so let's take a look and see what comes in the box. Now we ordered a Fischer, this is a DMP 10. I don't know that these normally come in a case like this. Historically with the Fischers, you had to get into the FMP 30 or 40 to get a case. So if you order one and you don't get a case, please do not complain to me. They sent it to me in a case, I think, to butter me up. I don't know, not really. They sent it to me in a case. I'm not sure if that's normally how they come. Quick comparison between the FMP 10 and the DMP 10. Obviously the DMP is much smaller. It does fit in your hand, feels really like a thick cell phone. This is apparently an aluminum case on the outside, and it looks like we've got some bumpers built in. Let's peel that guy off. Oh yeah. And take a look at this. So the biggest difference that we've got is, of course, we've got a new model. That means there's going to be a new probe and probe connector. I ordered the DF-RO. As far as I could tell, this was the same as an EG-AB 1.3, but I can't swear to it. So we've got our different connector. Let's take a look in the rest of the box while we're in here. Looks like we've got the usual shoulder strap and a USB cable. And we're going to talk about this when we talk about the probe, but they have switched over to the USB-C style connector. And that's where this gets kind of neat. Let me get this out of the way. If we look, our probe connector is now a USB-C. It also looks like on the probe itself, we have a USB-C. So this is kind of two new neat features. I'm wondering, and Fischer, if you haven't thought about this and decide to do it, give me a little bit of credit, I'd appreciate it. I'm wondering if you won't be able to plug your probe directly into a phone, tablet, computer with a USB-C port. The other cool thing is it looks like our probe and cable are separate. One of the biggest issues I've always seen with the Fischers is that connectors here do not have enough stress relief. They do not have a heavy duty boot on the end. If you take a look at the difference between the old FGBA, I mean, this just goes straight into the barrel, and it's very easy to kink this. They even show you in the instruction booklet, don't kink it down really far because you're gonna break it. This is usually the #1 point of failure on the Fischer probe. So it looks like you can swap out either the probe ends and the cable or just the cable itself. They have added a bit more in the way of a stressor relieving boot. It's a bit heavier. It's not as robust, I would say, as the Elcometer. The Elcometer has a bit more flex and give to it, but it does extend up considerably farther on the probe. This guy, very, very stiff. I don't know if it's because it's brand new, but this is a brand new Elcometer probe basically. And we still have a lot of movement in there. Probe is is heavy. This is a beefy boy. We may have to do a little bit of a weigh-in here. One thing I will say is it feels good. It feels solid in your hand. And that does kind of negate some of this heavier, that does negate a bit of the inflexibility of our cable. However, honestly, I would have to be concerned with user fatigue on this guy. This is serious. This is bigger than the comparable Elcometer probe. It's massive compared to the probe that it's replacing. So keep that in mind. We'll be interested to see how this tests out in the long run. Again, USB-C port on the bottom here does have this nice knurled knob to it to connect in. That is a nice firm connection. We do again have stress relieving boot on both ends. Being USB-C, I'm assuming omnidirectional. Again, way better than this. Is just a cowling around it. These really don't stop you from pinching off and snapping the cable, but again, not as robust as the Elcometer. All right, let's turn her on and see what we can see here. All right, so we now have a nice bright high contrast screen. Looks really nice. Yeah, I guess it's like holding your phone. Those of us that are used to holding a phone kind of like this and texting, this may not be an issue. But compared to being able to hold it like this with the Elcometer, this could again lead to an issue. This does feel like you want to get that stand that they have and drop it in there and just let it sit on a workbench again. Let's take a reading. Got our the 0.75 foil here, and let's fresh out of the box. Let's see what happens. All right. Now this is fun. I don't know if this is getting picked up on the camera that well, but we are getting visual feedback on the results. You get that on the Elcometer as well, but it is a very, very small light up here. You do get it when you have set up the different high and low limits for your measurements. It does also show up here on the Pro. Let's see if I can get my hand out of the way here, and so obviously we haven't set up any kind of measurement limits, so these are all acceptable even though they're completely wrong. But let's see if we can play with that and get us some new variables. So let's see, I'm gonna guess this brings up our menu button. Our menu here, we got these 3 bars. All right, so we've got our statistics, we can do the batch, we got calibrations, gauge settings. Display settings, signal settings. Oh, audible signal. Oh, you can turn the lights on and off. Light intensity. Oh, we can turn that up. Nice. It's already pretty bright, so I'm not gonna do that. All right, energy savings. Oh, nice. Switch off after 3 minutes, 60 minutes if it's just connected to the USB. Cool. Date, time, more. All right. Mils. Oh, cool. This is where we can change. This is where we can change and get more significant digits after our decimal point. Nice. So, I already did that. Back out. Probe menu. What do we got? Oh, raw values, power line figures. Wow. So this looks like you can get very, very in-depth into what it can and can't do. Let's back out of this and let's go into batch modify. Aha, here we go. Here's our limits. We are going to, let's do both. And our lower limit, since we've got a 0.74 foil here, let's make our lower limit just go plus minus 5% on either side. So that would be 70 point, it'd be 0.7. Woo, no, huh? Thought I went past it, but we got it. 0.7. 0.703. Cool. It's our lower limit. Our upper limit should be 0.777. So all the way back down. Okay. All right, let's back out. Back. Oh, okay, nice. So we've got our upper and lower limits right on there. And now, because we are way outside of our range, I'm gonna guess we get red lights. Oh, we get red lights and a beep. Essentially, the red light is only up top. It's only on the unit, not on the probe itself. Let's calibrate this and see if we can't, actually get back into that. Cool, we're back into the green there. I will say, as I was worried about, my hand is getting tired. This thing is heavy, 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 heavy. We're gonna have to have a weigh in here and see if we're into the heavyweight class here in this clash of titans. What's this up here? So we're playing, oh cool, so we've got another USB-C port up top for outputting. I was wondering if you had to share the probe port and the output port, but it looks like they have a second port up top. I'm gonna turn this off quick. There we go. Let's see here. Let's open this up and take a look. So here is our battery pack. Now this comes with a rechargeable battery. That is a nice beefy lithium battery there. Cool. I'm gonna assume that our same USB-C connector here is for charging as well. And then we have must be a way to upgrade or update the firmware. I'm gonna have to look into that part a bit more. That would be kind of nice to see that they are allowing for upgradability. This is obviously designed to be a direct competitor for the Elcometer. It's got the same IP specs that the Elcometer has. We do have these stress relieving boots that we've been honestly looking for a long time out of these Fischers, just because the probes broke. The ability to swap probes in and out directly on the cable or just replace the cable right at the end user, that's kind of a nice feature. My concern though is that is another point of failure. So I know I've said, hey, it's great that we've got this so it doesn't fail, but I worry here. I also worry about having this extra ingress point for debris or liquids. So you know what that means? We're gonna have to actually torture test this guy and see if it holds up as well as they're claiming it will, and see if it actually can compete with the Elcometer. Les from Delta, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our calibration and equipment solution videos. Video didn't answer your questions? That's okay. Click the link below, go to our website, you can contact us through there, or our Facebook page.